Hello there, I'm Rick, and today I'm going to talk to you about leveling up and daring to be personal and how important it is. I consider myself a computer geek, and other people call me a wizard when it comes to computing, and especially the more complicated it is, the simpler I usually try to make it. The thing is, though, when I was a kid, I kind of hid in books, and then when I learned computers, I hid even more because I felt computers were so much simpler than humans. Humans were so complicated, and with the computers, you kind of knew. You had a syntax and a compiler, and you kind of knew if you got it right one time, you knew you could trust it. Versus computers, versus humans. Yeah, what worked effectively one time might not work effectively the second time, surprising me. And the thing was, at the time, I still am, but less so, I was insecure, and I really clung to the comfort of having a compiling telling me yes and no, having a trial and error where I could just, instead of stretching hard, I could just do one step at a time and then stretch from there. But fast forward to right now where I am, it's ironic, but now I teach people empathy because computers simply isn't enough to change the game, to do the organizational change. Quite often I work with computers, I still love computers, but I work with the reason why the change isn't lasting, which is quite often organizational things, that you don't embrace the tool. You try to make the tool fit everyone, every need, and that rarely works. What you need is, you need to figure out what the computers do good, and you need to figure out what people do good. And now it might think that this is a simple change, or I just took a different stance and then I'm done. But it wasn't. It took 20 years of hiding. I'm really, to the core, afraid of conflict, and I really am a people pleaser trying to please everyone. So believe me, this has been a failure after failure after failure of implementing the tool right, trying to look good doing it. And then after a while realizing, to my embarrassment, that yeah, I did everything to spec, but I didn't have the courage to question the spec. I didn't have the insight and the courage to trust my intuition, saying, you're getting what you asked for, but are you really sure this is what you need to level up, to better game, or to do your game better? And I still struggle with that, daring to put tension on the right thing, including my own game, when it's time to level up. But now, and I'm so grateful that I stumbled on technology at it when it was just peaking up, and especially business intelligence 25 years ago, because otherwise I don't know where I've been. But now I love what I'm doing, and I think it's more chance some days, and I think it's more hard effort, willing to do the emotional labor that my 20-year-old me simply wouldn't have the courage. So if I can share anything in this video, it's be kind and generous to yourself, but dare to try it anyway. Dare to look at what's making you uncomfortable and ask what if, and then start to act as if. Start to say, well, if this were true, if I can have this assertion that better looks like this, then start behaving like it, not acting as a pretend. I surely tried fake it till you make it for such a long time being a teenager. That never worked. I just dug myself into uncomfortable holes that I couldn't dig myself out of. So I'm not saying fake it till you make it. I'm saying act as if, have a real life behavior changed based on your intuition, your thought of what better looks like, a hunch. Play with that. And then ask yourself, did it work? Does this look like we're reaching better faster this way? Does this look like I'm serving my people better this way? And myself, my resistance was my people pleaser. I still fall into, if I'm doubtful, I'm always falling into generosity and people pleasing. And that's not always a good thing. For you, it might be something else, that you're too assertive, that you're too whatever. But we all struggle with things. But if you then, okay, I have this idea. What if I change my behavior to match the thesis I have? And hopefully you will make progress faster. You will figure out new ways to connect to those who matter to you in ways that took me forever, because I was always shunning away, saying, no, I'll stay in fairyland for a bit more because it's simpler, or I'll hide behind the syntax of the computer a bit more because it's simpler, or I'll say, no, that's someone else should pick up this because it's important, but no, I only do the binary stuff of computing. There's so many ways we can shy away from the work that matters, but try stepping up to it and just see how quickly your life can transform. And once again, be kind and generous to yourself, because you will fall and fumble and be back to your old self. And I'm not saying that that's nothing wrong with it, but be kind and generous to you. And then, once again, do dare to evaluate. Put tension on the real question. Did it help? Or was I just fumbling because I was nervous? Was I just fumbling because it's the first time I've tried it? Or 3 times does not make a master, even if, however, I dreamed that was true. So be kind and generous to yourself, and then do it anyway, because you're worth it. And the people you're serving probably are worth it too.